Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palettes. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn Liu, Seth Geis, and from the Pastani Studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I had a big cat helmet thing I was gonna wear for the review today, but
Is that what that's what you kind of jumped around in Montreal in that big old
that's right.
black cat helmet?
Yep.
Did you
Wimbly,
look as good
wimbly
as the one at the
wobbly.
trade show though? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's different. It's different. It's Canadian. It's like a Canadian, winter cat or whatever.
Oh, okay. I meant like below the helmet, down.
Oh no, no, a lot of differences there.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot
okay.
of differences. Yep,
Okay.
can't
All
pull that
right.
off. Yep.
All right. All right, so today we are talking about the Outcast Corona Gorda. Cigar is 6 by 47. Comes out of the La Aurora factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Brazilian Cubra. Binder is Ecuadorian Sumatra, and the filler is from the Dominican Republic. Price point is $11.50, and the cigar was released in June of 2025. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Yeah, so I think in this case, given that it's I guess a non-traditional cigar, I think it's worthwhile talking about pre-light experience. So pre-light experience, like on the nail, undeniable. What I got of cherry fudge ice cream sundae was what I wrote.
All
So
right.
I get into the smoking part, and I want that. I want some of that, or I want the whole thing. And the first third was actually kind of that vibe, right? I got a lot of cherry cordials. I appreciated that it wasn't synthetically sweet. That sweetness was kind of felt tasted more natural, right? The creaminess, sweetness off of it. But there's also this like kind of a weird cedar and expired, like it's like this, like we have like an expired can of nuts. It tastes like stale. It has this like weird funk to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure.
Um, so that the last two-thirds of the cigar, essentially all that like sweetness faded, and it became this like monotony of cedar wood driven by that same kind of stale nuttiness.
Hmm.
And it really deteriorated the profile as a result of that. So I did enjoy that first third. If it would have held with better consistency, I think I would have really found a uh, offshoot enjoyable cigar.
All right, Seth, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough. A lot of like that artificial coffee, chocolate, brown sugar flavor. Then it had this musty wood and barnyard quality, was just under medium strength and body. Yeah, I mean that profile just kind of continued from beginning to end. The burn, I had a problem. The burn for a while, I couldn't even get anything. I couldn't even get the cigar going. And I was trying to get it going, and then I was wondering why I was trying to get the whole cigar going, and then so finally finished it. But yeah, I had a bad smoking experience. John?
Yeah, profile. I got a sneak preview because we smoked this on the trade show floor, so I knew the sweet cap was coming, and I famously hate sweet caps because it's artificial sweetness, and I just don't like artificial sweetness. It's like the one flavor I can't do. So for me, that kind of obviously started right off the hop. Wooden hay, kind of in the center of the profile. Some bitter wood on the post draw, and I got a lot of aromatic pipe tobacco notes out of the profile, which was okay. But I felt like it was contrasting with the sweet cap. Like I feel like probably should drop the sweet cap, and if you're going to go aromatic pipe tobacco, but I'm not a blender, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Second, third, the sweet aromatic pipe tobacco kind of picked up a little bit, so more of the profile, but brought with it some mildly bitter hay in the center, and dry hay and wood was defining the post draw. So it was okay, but the profile didn't really stand out, and then took a bit of a turn in the last third for me. Mild sweetness, dry hay that ended up being a really dominant dry hay as it continued, so really heavy on the palate, and then a loamy earth in the post draw with some acrid notes as it got to the halfway point. So it kind of fell off the cliff. But the reason that probably happened is because the cigar just kept going out on me over and over and over and over and over again. And I think I messaged Aaron at one point that I was just basically huffing in the cigar to try and keep it lit. Because I was like, well, maybe I screwed up my smoking cadence, but she went out on me 4 times. So yeah, you have to think that that's going to affect the flavor profile. I mean, 1 or 2 relights would affect the flavor profile. I have to assume 4 would. Interestingly enough, the draw was perfect. So I don't know what the issue was. Anywho, pretty average experience for me. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with lightly toasted cedar, construction paper, and light chocolate, along with a mild sweetness from the wrapper. Got some mild creaminess that joined in a bit later. Then the chocolate and sweetness increased a bit. Second third saw some mild black pepper join in, and the chocolate mellowed a bit. And later some earth joined in. Final third saw the chocolate and sweetness become very mellow, and then later departed. The earth then increased as well as the toast level. I had perfect construction, which is I think an outlier from the rest of these guys. So that probably played into a bit into my experience. But cigar had an average flavor profile throughout. The core components of the cedar, earth, and the construction paper were aided by some of the chocolate and the creaminess. I think this is a pretty decent cigar in the flavored infused space, even though it's using pipe tobacco for a lot of that. But it's not really a cigar I'd come back to with any frequency. But I'll leave the rest for the final thoughts about what I'm going to say about the cigar. All right, let's get into the scores. We're going to start at the top with Jiunn at 5.9. I gave it a 5.75. John gave it a 4.9, and Seth gave it a 2.92. So Jiunn had that 5.9 matchup for you.
Um, Pretty well. It's if I could have more of that first third, I'd smoke it again. But as is, um, not really intending to come back to it.
Yeah, my 5.75 matches up well, pretty much similar to what you say. Kind of an interesting cigar, but not something I'm going to come back to with any regularity. I kind of like, obviously, I love the prelate aromas and notes from it, but you rarely ever get any of that in the cigar once you get that. So, yeah, it's not a cigar I'd return to. All right, John, 4.9.
Yeah, it matches up well. Obviously, no one intends a cigar to be relit 4 times, so I have to assume that's an outlier. But taking that aside, I mean, listening to you guys describe the profile, I don't think it would have gotten out of the 6s for me. So, yeah.
All right, Seth, 2.92.
Oh yeah, we can just skip this and forget about this experience. It was one of those. I was just, oh man, once I touched it, I was like, you could smell it. You're like, oh, here we go. So it was the Brazilian Cobra that got me, man.
Yeah.
I actually saved the review for like I was like, I'm just gonna smoke this one cigar this day because I know it's like the rest of the day is probably gonna be write off. So I'm just gonna smoke that and we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they need to get some of the construction issues in check with this. And I know it's tough with pipe tobacco to try to keep everything burning, fluently, but I mean, somehow I lucked out with a good construction one, but everybody else seemed to have issues. I will say this for this cigar. I think that this is, like I said, it's a good gateway cigar. I think it could do really well for them if they get it in people's hands. That's going to be the challenge. But for the people that are smoking heavily infused stuff and are looking to migrate into traditional, this is kind of that. This is that bridge that's there. You get a little bit of that, those flavors going on. But I think the blend here is good enough to be a traditional cigar on its own. If you didn't add any of that other stuff going on, which I think is rare in these cases, because I think a lot of non-traditional cigars have blends that are being covered up for a reason because they just
Right.
couldn't stand on their own. And I think this could do it if left to its own devices. So I think this is a really in a good spot. But the challenge anytime you have a new brand like this is to be able to get it in the right people's hands to be able to smoke it.
Hmm.
So I know, we're not the target audience for this cigar. Um, but smoking it kind of gave me some of these, thoughts in regards to how I'd see myself if I was kind of trying to make that leap. Um, which I don't think any of us made our journey going that direction. So, but yeah, put yourself into people's shoes sometimes. All right. Wherever you catch this video, be sure to like and subscribe and check out the full written review on the website, developmentbalance.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.